Welcome to Chapter 2, Global E-Business and Collaboration. All right, so what are we going to try to learn here? For week 2, we want to know the business process. We've learned those in management and how they all use. So we're going to look at those again. And how do they relate to different information systems? What levels need to know what? How do systems serve different management groups in the business? Why are systems for collaboration and social business so important? And what is the role of information technology in all this? So this is what we're going to look at. What is the business process? Basically, it's the flow of material, information, and knowledge. It's usually a set of activities and steps, but mainly it's tied to functional areas, or it can be cross-functional. But in accounting, you get a new customer, you got to do certain things. And that's what we're going to be looking at. How do we put all this together so whoever's doing their job has the information they need it to do their job completely? And that's what we're going to be looking at. So, an example of functional business, manufacturing. They have to assemble products. They got to order the product, assemble it, build it, ship it. Then you have sales. Who's identifying, what are they doing? They need to identify the customer. Then we have finance, creating, approving credit for the customer. These are some of the things that we need to do. And we're going to look at. And human resources, hiring the people. These are all the different processes that go involved. Every company, whether it's a mom and pop or IBM, they have these areas that must be filled. Increasing efficiency. This is one of the things that technology does for us. It helps us figure out what we want to do. So, entire process, we want to change the flow of information, replace duplicate, eliminate delays, and support new business models. These are all the things that we want to get that information systems does for us. It allows us to streamline product, streamline the process. That's what we're trying to do. Now, the Transactional Processing System, TPS. To me, this is the foundation of everything that information systems does. This is the capturing of all the data at the time it happens. If it's a sales, if it's something being built, time stamped, product, who, when, what, where. All this is captured at TPS. But basically, it is the start of every report that we deal with. And so it's an extremely crucial part of it, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's at the grocery store, retail store, doesn't matter. We collect this information, we store it in databases, which we'll talk more about later, and then we manipulate it and we get the information out of it. So we take data in through TPS, and we get information out for every report. So TPS is probably one of the most critical parts of the management information systems, because if the data is wrong, let's face it, the reports are going to be wrong. So it's really an important part. And then we add all this. TPS supports our business intelligence. It supports our management information systems. It supports decision making. It supports executive decision making. So it's a vital part of everything we do. So management information system basically serves middle management. It provides information that comes from the TPS, what's going to be out a few months out in advance. There's not a lot of analytical capacity in this. It just teaches us, gives middle management the information that they need. The decision support also gives us it is non-routine decision making. What impact will this have if December sales are down? So middle management uses the decision support system to figure out what's happening in the future. It's usually out 3 to 5 months, as we've learned in our previous classes. And everything is through this information. Now, the executive support system, this is usually out 3 to 5 years. And this is collecting of information, and we're trying to predict what's happening. A perfect example of this is Amazon. They wanted to open 2 new headquarters on the East Coast versus West Coast. What are some of the things? What they looked at? All the different cities. Where were they going to be? So this allowed us to have this information available to us. Now, all this information in the past, accounting was separate, finance was separate, HR was separate, manufacturing was separate, sales was separate. And anytime we want to collect data, we'd have to request information, upload it in the system. Well, years ago, we ended up with something called an ERP system. And what this has really done is it helped streamline the entire process for the organization. Because if we get a new customer, so what would happen is the sales department gets a new customer and they put all the information in the system. It is then sent directly over to finance, who then puts it into their system. Just missing information. They get the credit report. Then this information all is sent to the manufacturing. Again, it's only entered once, and all these different departments get to access that. So the manufacturer knows where to ship the product. And this is an important part of how all the ERP system works. It links all our departments together and reduces any waste of information that might have to be entered twice. Now, some downfalls with ERP systems: extremely expensive. Many companies have implemented them, have gone bankrupt because of the cost of it. It is a major undertaking. Matter of fact, you can take a whole class, if not get a degree, in just enterprise systems. So they are a major part of every company nowadays. Now we're going to look at the supply chain management. How does management information systems use this? Well, you ever send a package and you notice you get hop-ups from UPS or FedEx where your package is? Well, that's supply chain management. Customers want to know where their product is. Where is it in the manufacturing? Where is it in the shipping? Then we want to know inventory levels. We want to know all this information as a retailer, as a business. And this allows us to provide the product when it's needed, who needs it. Customer relations. We talked a little bit about this. We're going to talk about it more. How do we keep our customer happy? Isn't that why we're in business? If we don't have customers, we're not doing something right. So how do we identify what they want, when they want it? Well, we use customer relation software. We figure out what they want, how do they get it to them, how do we make them happy. Zappos is a perfect example of they're making their customer happy, making sure that you can return their shoes without any shipping. It's supposedly one of the best places to work also. But how do we keep that customer happy? And we track that. You ever have one of those little customer loyalty cards? You go to the store, you buy something, you wave your card. Well, why do they want that? Not to give you a discount, to see what you're buying so they can offer this to you more. They want to figure out what makes you happy. What are you coming back for? Knowledge management. This is getting the employee, capturing the employee's expertise. So if you've been at a company for 20 years, you have this expertise. Well, when you leave, where does that data go? Did you train someone, and did you train them on everything that happens? And this is one of the things that is happening right now in the world, is something called a brain drain. Baby boomers are retiring. We're retiring at a good rate. And what's happening? All this knowledge is being sucked out of the workforce. Now, companies are trying to figure out ways to capture this. But it's not an easy process. How do you capture something that someone did and gain all that knowledge? So this is something that's really important. How do we capture that brain drain from occurring? And it's this knowledge management. These are the educated, the engineers, software, product, nurses, doctors. These are the people who have expertise that's only in their mind. So when people are leaving, they're hiring them, yes, for a younger crowd, more technology, probably advanced, but they're not getting that knowledge. So how do we gather that? And this is one of the technologies that we use. Now, an intranet and extranet, it's different than the internet. Internet's this wonderful worldwide thing. An intranet is simply for internal employees. So at the school, Caldwell, we have an intranet. Only you can see it. It has your classes on it, what classes you're taking, what classes are available, and post assignments. An extranet is something going to be like the bookstore, or maybe food vendors who are going to supply food for us, cleaning services. But these are outside vendors who want to connect to us. So what's going to be on here? Well, what books do we need? What billing processes? So these just allow us a little bit of information on there. Now the world is going to e-business. There's no doubt about it. You all have an app on your phone that you can get to your Blackboard, Canvas, whatever you're working on. You can get information on this. Well, everyone buys everything through the web now, and even through our phones. So how do we use this technology? And e-government is the other thing we'll be looking at, discussing in depth this week. Collaboration. Here's the thing. We no longer have to travel to other vendors or other cities or anything. Everything can be done online. And we do it through collaboration. There are a whole bunch of different applications that we can do this through, and we're going to be looking through all this. Social business. Well, how do businesses use social media to keep up with both internal and external customers? I know some have internal Facebooks, if you want, that allows them to chat commands, and Microsoft has instant chat. So we have these different things that we can use to make our jobs easier. So what are some of the benefits? Productivity, quality, innovation, customer service. So, if I'm on a phone with a customer, I can text someone, hey, what's going on with this? So it's just an easy way that we're able to use this. Instant messaging, wikis, virtual worlds, cloud collaboration. These are just some of the things that are available to us. So the last thing we're going to look at is the IT governance. Who overlooks everything to make sure that it's good? So this is just kind of provides us an overview of everything that's in Chapter 2. So as I've mentioned, we're going to be looking at, we have a discussion question on this chapter. We have our paper. Again, always email me, check Canvas, see what's going on. Remember to respond to 2 of your classmates. If you have any questions, please contact me. And have a wonderful day, and remember to smile.